In this week's episode of 2 Minute Tuesday, we're going to look at the 5 biggest mistakes that potential property buyers can make when looking to buy property in Spain and how to avoid them. So let's dive into the super quick episode number 135 of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hondon Valley Homes. Now, the first mistake that people can make is not doing research. Now, we always encourage clients to ask questions. After all, I think moving house is probably the most stressful thing that you can do. So moving house to a foreign country and all that entails, foreign languages, new rules, laws, things like that, it's a huge commitment. And so we always ask our clients to email, call or message us with questions, no matter how small. We'd rather help you out than have you having sleepless nights. However, you would be surprised how many emails we receive from clients asking, is it possible to walk to the beach from Hondon? Or even worse, clients actually visiting the area and then sort of looking and saying, well, you know, where's the beach? How far is it to the beach? This obviously shows to us, the agent, that the client hasn't done the correct sort of research when they're looking to purchase a property. We have clients unaware of the costs of buying a property, and we'll talk more about that in a short while, or even that they need to pay for property in euros. So, you know, please, as a potential buyer, use the resources that are available to you. Most sort of reputable agents will have information on their websites. The lawyers' websites are full of information as well. If you're going to invest not only your trust, but also probably several hundreds of thousands of euros, then please do so by making an informed decision at best. Okay, so the next sort of potential for making a mistake is by setting yourself an unrealistic spending limit. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, clients often will come to us and other agents as well and say that they were recently watching an episode of A Place in the Sun or Escape to the Continent, and they saw a similar property, but it was advertised for much less, or the clients bought it for much less on the TV show. What they possibly didn't realise is if they waited for the end of the credits, they would have seen that right at the end it would have said that the show was filmed in 2008 and things have moved on considerably since then. Clients can sometimes come and make what we would consider a totally unrealistic offer for a property under the misapprehension that everybody in Spain is desperate to sell and give the property away, when actually what they're doing is insulting the vendor by saying that they think the property is worth considerably less than it actually is. And also it makes the agent think that perhaps the clients aren't as credible as perhaps they would think that they are. So our advice really would be to talk to the agent before making an offer, and they will advise you. Remember, it's also in the agent's interest to find an agreement between the two parties as well, because the agent only gets paid when the property is sold. So it's mutually beneficial for everybody to find an agreement when it comes to the price. The next mistake that people can make is taking too long. Now, I would never ever suggest that you rush into a decision to purchase a property. However, I've got clients, still have clients, that have come out once or twice a year for the last 3, 4, 5 years looking at properties. Now, in that time, property prices have risen considerably. Since Brexit, we actually have a huge number of Brits who have decided that now is the time to cut ties with the old country and move further south. And of course, since COVID, many clients have decided that they don't want to be, you know, trapped in their beautiful apartment in whichever city it is, and they'd rather have a nice country home with a swimming pool and things like this. Now, as I said, I would never suggest that you actually rush into a decision, but at the moment the prices are rising, probably too quickly for us to feel comfortable about it. And, you know, the longer the wait, potentially, the more you're going to be paying for your dream property. Or it's going to be snapped up perhaps by somebody who's a little bit more switched on and ready to make the decision a little bit quicker. So if you see something that you do like and it ticks all of the boxes, you know, the ball is firmly in your court with regards to making the decision. But if you wait too long, or there's always a good chance that the prices can change, or somebody will come and realise what a great house it is as well and snap it up before you have the opportunity to do so. So the next section of areas that you need to look at is the costs, the taxes and the fees. Now, there is really no excuse for not being aware of the associated costs of buying a property in Spain. We did an update episode of 2 Minute Tuesday back in August regarding all of the taxes and the fees that you pay when you buy a property. And we've also covered this in previous episodes a couple of years ago, and we updated it more recently. On our website, for example, we've got a frequently asked questions section on our website which covers this. We even have a free to download ebook about all the extra costs associated with buying a property over here in Spain. And again, you can go on other agents' websites, you can go on lawyers' websites and find all this information out. And yet, with all this information available for people, we very occasionally have clients making offers to buy properties totally unaware of the additional costs of buying in Spain, over and above the asking price. So please check out all of the resources that are on our website and other agents' websites for all the information that you need. It's far, far better for you to familiarise yourself with the added costs, fees, taxes, etc. Now than when you're buying the property and then you get a much larger bill than you would have expected otherwise. And the final bit is really more for UK clients. And that is to remember that the United Kingdom is not part of the European Union anymore. Geographically, we're in Europe, but that's about it. So since Brexit, UK clients fall into the same group as all other non-Europeans, such as clients from America, China, India, North Korea. Basically, you have very few working rights and living rights compared to beforehand. So if you want to come and live and work in Spain, you're going to need a visa nowadays. The amount of time that you want to spend in Spain or the European Union without a visa is actually limited. Often it's 90 days in any 180-day period. So that precludes you from living here full time unless you have a visa. Even once simple tasks like, say, remotely opening a bank account is more difficult, and things like your driving licence, that a UK driving licence, currently it's a bit ambiguous, but there is a thing that you will need to change your licence, and at the moment that hasn't been agreed as to how that's done. You need to be aware of all of these factors, especially if you're looking to come live here or work here. And if you want to become a resident, then there are going to be a few more sort of hoops to jump through than there were before Brexit. So that basically is it. They're my sort of top 5 mistakes or miscalculations that a potential buyer can make when coming to look at or buy property here in sunny Spain. So the common analogy when you're looking at buying a property has always been location, 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 and it always should be. However, closely followed by research, research, research. So that's it really for this week. We're going to be back very shortly. My details should be on the screen at the moment, so if you've please feel free to drop me a line if you've got any questions about buying properties here in Spain, or even if you're looking at selling a property in Spain. We're more than happy to come and have a chat with you and help you out. But that's it for this episode. We'll see you very soon for the next episode, but until then, adios from a beautiful sunny Spain. Adios.